Okay, before I show you the chicken scratch, I do want to show you this one. Here is their running stitch was in green. You can see the stitch size is a lot bigger than mine. If you get to that where you're doing a really big stitch, you got to be really careful, because if you do it too big, the fabrics come apart. So they finished it all the way around. Now this person decided to do their overhand stitch the same color as their background material, so it's not as obvious, but it's there. This is one of mine that I did a while ago. You can see the overhand stitch is a different color. They're not real tight next to each other, but they're bright and evenly spaced, and that helps. Okay, so we're gonna do a chicken scratch. Now, if you've ever seen a chicken scratch in the dirt, you know that there isn't any real rhyme or reason to the order in which they scratch. So this is a single thread stitch. So again, make sure you leave yourself a tail about as long as your finger, and make sure you put the knot on the end of the thread that's longer. Chicken scratch starts from the back, comes up through the quilt. Now remember that little trick I showed you with the running stitch, in and out, in and out? Chicken scratch should look like there's no order to it. So I just did as if I were going to do a running stitch that direction, and you can see I'm using a really, maybe you can see, I'm using a really bright color to hopefully make it easier to see. But chicken scratches go in every direction, in any direction, until you have totally filled the entire background over your painted area. Now I'm going to suggest, you see how you can see those colors? I'm going to suggest that you use a color besides the color you painted with. For instance, if I had done chicken scratch green on green, it wouldn't be easy to see. I did just that on this quilt when I did it. You can see that the colors are kind of similar to the background color. But when you get up close, you can see that some of the oranges and some of the yellows are opposite what color is underneath. So it's a little more subtle. It's up to you what you want yours to look like. But when you're finished, your entire piece should be stitched, okay? The last thing that you're gonna do is add fun, funky stuff to it. Any old beads or buttons or jewelry that you have, add it to your quilt. It'll look amazing.